Hi folks, welcome to the Nurburgring GP layout with the awkward chicane, which I'm not happy with. I would have much rather the fast chicane at the end of the lap, but nonetheless, we are there with the awkward chicane. Anyway, this car around here, okay-ish. There's a couple of fast corners which are very, very fun, but ultimately the first sector is just tippy-toeing around and trying not to face the other way. And then the hairpin down at the bottom is actually quite nice, but on power you can lose the rear end. And then there's a left-hander, which I will point out on the track guide, that is very, very dangerous if you do get that wrong. Ask me how I know. But yeah, let's crack on with the fast lap. Right then, fast lap done and dusted, and let me show the info tab for you. We are using the fixed Nurburgring setup from iRacing. We follow the fixed series in this, track temp of 68 Fahrenheit, so very, very cool, and a moderate use of 44% is what I always use for these guides. Now, the lap I'm going to show you is all the way down at the bottom, lap 25. It is a 1:35.970. Now, the reason I'm showing you that one is the camera does some weird glitching stuff. Low fuel, I was down into the mid to low 35s, but with higher fuel, I couldn't get anywhere near it. So me showing you a 35 will be sort of qualifying-ish pace, but later on in the lap, it does get a lot quicker. So I'm expecting to be in mid-race terms, sort of mid-35s. I'd imagine the open and the really aliens will be hot in the 34s, to be written on somewhere. But keeping this thing in a straight line is basically going to be key, to be honest. Not sure why this is jittering, so let me just change something. Let's try a different camera angle. That doesn't seem to be jittering as much. We're a bit more zoomed in. Yeah, basically this one will be trying to stay in a straight line as best you can, to be written. It's got a lot of slow corners where you can lose a lot of time, so keeping a point in the straight line is absolutely going to be key, as with any race, but this one going to be particularly because the first sector is all slow turns. Be careful about the fast ones. I will mention it on the breakdown lap. Be careful about the fast ones with spinners. I did spin there a few times, so be cautious about that. Otherwise, OLAP, BLAP, Telemetry, replay file will all be in my Discord for you, so if you did want to check that out and compare stuff to your lap, that's absolutely fine. It's in my Discord. Please join along and say hello. Otherwise, Garage61, I'm using that as well, which is an online telemetry tool. Very, very useful for comparing lap times, and I'm also using that. There are links down in the description for both. Otherwise, I think that's enough of me waffling. Let's crack on with the guide. Right then, Nurburgring, we are blasting down to turn 1, and this is a relatively good start-finish straight, so this will be a good opportunity for some dive bomb overtakes into here. We're using a 100-meter board here on the left-hand side. Brake in a straight line. It's downhill, so be careful about locking the front tyres, but all the way down into second gear. You can use first, but it's a little bit sketchy on exit. Do not cut that corner too much because it's a bit of a jump and you can damage your front wing. Ease the power in on exit and bring the car over to the right-hand side. This turn 2 is very, very awkward. It's off camber, so coast the car in nice and gently. Be very, very delicate. Be careful about the rear end stepping out, and do not run too far wide here because there is an annoying off-track. Accelerate down into turn 3 now in the end of the AstroTurf, a couple of car lengths before. Brake in a straight line. Get the braking done and dusted. All the gear changes done in a straight line as best you can. Again, easy through the apex. Trying to stay as far left as you can because you really want to open up this turn 4. It's a very awkward awkward kink, so a little bit of curb on apex, and then you can run a little bit wide here. If you do get the off track on apex, you can run a little bit wide as well. Make sure you get the maximum value out your off track. Anyway, coming into this nice corner here, using the cones there at the end just as a braking marker, a little bit of a turn and use the camber very, very fast. Try and compromise this a little bit to get back onto the left hand side, and then the curbing here on the left is our braking and turning point. I'll probably turn in a little bit too early. You probably want to turn in a little bit later, get a late rear apex and a straighter line on the way out, because it's going to be a good downhill run into the hairpin, which again could lead to some overtaking opportunities. Nice acceleration down here. Just keep the car to the left-hand side and prepare for the braking zone. This is going to be very, very important for lap time. Brake in a nice straight line. Do not cut the entry to the corner. There is an off-track out there, so be cautious. Third or second gear if you prefer, but second gear will be sketchy on exit. Nice late apex. Feed in the power nicely. Do not get any wheel spin here, and do not touch that curb too much. You will bottom out and end up in the barrier on the right-hand side, so that is not good. Schumacher-S is now straight through here. Try not to hit any curbs. That one's okay to hit, but do not hit the first one because you will bottom out the car and it will unsettle it very, very much. Bring the car over to the right-hand side now, just before the 100-meter board. Brake in a straight line, down 2 gears. Little bit of a cheeky tickle on the apex there, but be careful of this apex, the exit curb here. You can spin out and hit the barrier on the left. This corner is fantastic. Double brakes, 4th gear. Use a little bit of the apex curb just there. Again, late apex. We need the exit much more than the entry, so get a late apex and slingshot it down to this straight. This will be a very, very good opportunity to get some decent overtakes around here. But do not go too wide through this chicane. It is dangerous and deadly. So 100-meter marker, we're probably braking just before it. Braking a nice heavy straight line. It's uphill, so don't worry about too much lock in the brakes. Easy through here. Do not turn in too quickly because the rear end will not be able to handle it. Just be smooth on exit, applying that power because you can get a little bit sketchy. Be careful of this curb here on the left-hand side. People go up on top of it, but it bottoms out the car, so to me it's pointless. Brake nice and easy into the last corner. You can brake into the apex. Watch that pit wall barrier. It can rip off your tire quite easily. Feed in the power for the exit and easy through there because you do get a snap of oversteer, and be careful about running too far wide because there is an off track out there as well. Short run to the line. That is it. Done and dusted in a 1:35.970. As mentioned, I think I can go a little bit faster than that, but mainly cold tires and high fuel tank and things like that. I think I should be in the mid-35s race time. The open setup, I think, will be a lot quicker. We're not hitting VMAX around here, and I think I haven't mentioned it in this one. Best place to use the boost will either be out the hairpin at the bottom, going uphill through the Schumacher-S's. That is probably going to be a good acceleration point up there to try and get an overtake in. But also out of the, what corner is it? Turn 12. I think turn 12 could be an opportunity to use the boost as well, but also out of the last corner as well. So there's a few opportunities where we can have these boost markers or things like that out of slow corners onto decent long straights or full throttle zones, and it will definitely be a good place to use it. Otherwise, if this did help you out, don't forget to like and subscribe, and love your YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one.